Good morning, students. So this is my next video in the fixation of the previous video of the chapter that we have started in the previous week, that is energy. So far we have discussed few contents, like we have discussed about energy, we have discussed about various forms of energy, and then we have discussed the main energy that we have to discuss, mechanical energy and its various forms. So in this video we will start our discussion of the topics of transformation of energy. Okay, so these were the various transformations of energy that I have discussed in the last slide. So now we will discuss all the transformation of energy in the detail. So first of all, let's see what is interconversion of energy. So as we already knew that energy cannot be created, now it can be destroyed. Only thing is it can be changes from one form to another. So this conversion of energy from one form to another is called interconversion of energy or transformation of energy. For example, let's discuss few examples. So the most important example is hydel power plant. So the electricity that we are getting at our home is being made by using the hydel, is being generated by using the hydel power plant. So the main concept of hydel power plant is, in this a dam is there which stores a lot of water, and hence the potential energy of the water has been stored. This potential energy of the water has been converted into the kinetic energy when it flows through the penstocks or the huge pipes. So that gravitational potential energy is converted into the kinetic energy. Then this flowing water at a very high speed, it is converted into the mechanical energy of turbine, which starts to rotate very rapidly, and finally this turbine is connected to the generator. After the generator turbine starts rotating, electricity is produced, and this electricity is being provided to the homes, to the offices, to the mills, and hence this electrical energy is converted into again various forms like light energies, sound energy of the TV and speaker, mechanical energy of the fan, and so on. So here we can see that the energy is not created, rather it is transformed from one form to another. From like the stored potential energy of the water has been converted into the kinetic energy. This kinetic energy has been converted into the mechanical energy of the turbine. Then this mechanical energy is converted into the electrical energy from the generator, and then it is converted into various forms like light energy, sound energy, mechanical energy, and so on. So water from the dams is stored at a greater height, therefore it has greater potential energy. When the gates of the dams are opened, the water starts to flow from one side to the other side of the dam, hence its potential energy has been converted into kinetic energy. Then the flowing water is made to run through the pipes to turn the big wheels, which turns the engines called the generators, and that generate the electricity. So the electrical energy in an electrical bulb is converted into heat and light energy. You must have seen these type of bulbs at your home. So what happened in this case, the electrical energy has been provided, and this electrical energy has been converted into the heat and light energy when you switch on the electric bulb. Similarly, in case of a table fan, so whenever you switch on the table fan or electric motor, the electrical energy has been converted into the kinetic energy, and due to this kinetic energy the table fan works, or electrical motor starts rotating. Then a very familiar one, a loudspeaker or a doorbell that is you are having the home. So whenever you switch on, what happens, that electrical energy has been converted into the sound energy, and which we can hear by the sensation of our ears. A microphone, many of you must have used a microphone whenever, either when you are singing or whenever someone is saying, when someone wants to amplify the sound. So in that case what happens, the sound energy has been converted into the electrical energy. Then a cell or battery. So cell, you must have seen the cell which is used in the remotes or the battery which is used in your house with the inverter, or the battery of your mobile phone. So what happened in that case? The chemical energy of the fluid which is stored inside this cell has been converted into the electrical energy. So these are the few energy conversion devices and their useful energy, like electric heater which we are using at home during the winters. In that case also electrical energy has been converted into the thermal energy. Hair dryer, then electric generator is there, electrical motor, battery, steam boiler, furnace, steam turbine, and so on. So there are so many examples from your real life by which you can say that energy is always converted from one form to another form. Now, during the interconversion of energy, the total energy is not converted into the work. It is a true fact, whenever we use the energy, the total form is not always converted into the work. Some energy gets converted into usable form and a part of it lost in the surroundings. And this energy get lost in the form of heat, sound and radiation. So this loss of energy is called dissipation of energy. For example, suppose this is a light bulb. When you switch it on, so when you switch it on, you must have noticed the light energy, but if you touch it, then what you will came to know that a part of the outer surface of this electrical bulb gets heated, and therefore some part of the energy is lost in form of heat. Then a part of that heat is also lost in case of the radiation, also in form of radiation also. And suppose when you switch on the heater, then little bit sound is also coming. When we switch on the fan, the sound is also coming. So that form of energy is also lost in the form of sound. So we can say that it is not possible to convert the whole energy into the work. Some part of the energy will always be lost in the surrounding, and we get a very small part in the usable form. Now let's discuss what is conservation of energy. Like we have studied in case of the interconversion of energy, energy is converted into one form to another. So we can say that the quantity of energy in this universe always remains constant. The total sum of mass and the energy in the universe is a conserved quantity. This is known as the law of conservation of mass and energy. So whenever you are using something, whenever you are doing some chemical reactions in the laboratory also, that whole mass of the reactant is always conserved. It is converted into the products, and with some amount of the residue which is also be counted. So we can say that total sum of the mass and energy in the universe is a conserved quantity, and mass and energy can never be lost. It is always converted. So according to the law of conservation of mechanical energy, whenever there is an interchange between the potential and kinetic energy, the total mechanical energy always remains constant. So we can say that K plus U, K we are using for kinetic energy and U we are using for the potential energy. So we can say that K plus U always remains constant whenever there is no frictional force. Frictional force is going to be added if we are considering, for example, if you are riding the bicycle. In that case also, due to some friction, the heat is generated, due to that heat your tires get heated, and due to that frictional energy also your cycle stops moving when you stop pedaling the cycle. So let's see a small example. Suppose a body is kept at point A. So in this case, the net potential energy of the body is mgh, and since it is not in motion, so what happens? Its kinetic energy is 0. Now suppose it starts to move and it moves to point B. So what happened? At point B, the potential energy becomes E by 2 and kinetic energy also becomes E by 2. So when you add these two terms, E by 2 plus E by 2, you will get again E. So at A also, total sum of the energy is capital E. At B also total sum of the energy is also capital E. Now when the point reaches the ground, that is as point C, so when the body is at point C, in that case potential energy is 0 and its whole potential energy is converted into the kinetic energy. So at point C also, when you add these two energies, again their sum will be capital E. In this example we are not considering the frictional force, we are considering there is no frictional force. So at each and every point the total sum of kinetic energy plus potential energy is always capital E. So we can see by this example that the total mechanical energy of the system is always conserved. Again, you must have ride in this roller coaster. So what happens during the roller coaster? From here it starts to take some speed and its kinetic energy starts to increase. At the maximum point, the potential energy will be equals to total work done, or we can say that mgh. At maximum point what happens? Kinetic energy is 0. So during after maximum point, when it starts to slide like this, what happens? This, suppose we consider this point. So at this point there will be some potential energy and there will be some kinetic energy. So in that case also their sum is always constant. When the roller coaster reaches here, so it's now potential energy becomes 0 and this whole potential energy has been converted into its maximum kinetic energy, due to which again it rises to this point. Again it will starts to move here and again its potential energy becomes 0 and it is having the maximum kinetic energy. So we can say that at all the points that you can see in this picture, whether this point, this point, this point or this, so at all the points the sum of potential energy plus kinetic energy is constant. So this proves that total mechanical energy of the system always remains conserved. Now let's see one more example, conservation of energy in simple pendulum. So simple pendulum is actually a small weightless bob which is attached to an inextensible light weightless string like this. It is a weightless string we are considering, it cannot be extended, and this is a simple point mass which is massless. So when you take this simple pendulum from this position to this position, so B and C are known as the extreme position. Why they known as the extreme position? Because when the bob reaches the point C, it will stops there and again it will start to move at the A. At that A is known as the mean position. So when you take the bob to the extreme position like position C, it will stop here, and when you leave it, it will starts to move in a oscillatory motion like this. So at C there will be no kinetic energy, but it is having the maximum amount of potential energy. Then it comes to point A. At point A there will be some kinetic energy. Then from A it will starts to move point B. Again its whole kinetic energy has been converted into the potential energy, and this motion is continue to be like this, where the potential energy and kinetic energy are interconverted into each other, and at all the points the sum of these energies will remain constant. So again we can say that by seeing this example that total mechanical energy of the system remains conserved. Then one more example like this we have already discussed when we started, conservation of energy in hydropower plant. So this is the place where water has been stored. This is known as the reservoir. So when the water is stored at a greater height, it is having the potential energy. Now when the gates are opened, the water starts to flow. So this potential energy has been converted into the kinetic energy. So after this water starts to flow, it strikes the turbine and turbine starts to rotate rapidly. So this kinetic energy has been converted into the mechanical energy of the blades of the turbine. And the shaft of the generator has been coupled to the turbine. Due to this, the shaft of the generator also starts to move, and at some point the electricity starts to produce. So we can say that the mechanical energy of the turbine has been converted into the electrical energy of the generator, and this electricity has been transmitted through the wires from the power plant. So this is also one more example of interconversion of energy. Here the potential energy has been converted into kinetic energy of the water, then this kinetic energy has been converted into the mechanical energy of the turbine. As a result, the turbine rotates and the electricity is produced. So this is the end of this chapter discussion. Question answers have already been sent to you and you must have completed it. So in the next week we will start with the new chapter, and if you have any doubts regarding the chapter, you just ask me. And for the unit test, I have already given you the syllabus, that is chapter 1 is going to come, and you have to read whole chapter and do all the exercises and question answers properly. For now, it's thank you from my side.